Hello. I am Katejorinna or Kate, and I'm the artist behind Katejorinna. Today's episode is about further hurdles of pedestrians thinking about public transportation and its surroundings. The quote of the German organization Aktion Mensch, if translated to English, it means as much as action humankind, points it out because it goes like this. Humans have no disability, locations do. In the first part about this topic, I forgot to mention that I do not receive any money nor have been asked from from them to include this in my podcast. It's the opposite. I don't have any personal contact to them. This topic is very important to me and I don't want to keep it to myself. Hence, I decided to talk about it with you. So imagine a large city that you have been to. Close to stations, there are bridges for pedestrians and undercrossings to reach your destination. The majority of these are also disabled. If such bridges are only accessible through stairs, many people are automatically excluded. Those who are excluded are fellow human beings who cannot walk steps because of their body. The same goes with undercrossings. Actually, these great ideas, these great inventions are ideas to help pedestrians. To privately reach or to pretty fast reach their destination they want to reach. But it's not like this because it's only made for the healthy people. So thinking about the time, as I lived in London, I had no problem using undercrossings on the escalator because my feet were healthy. So I didn't even realize that these locations are disabled. It was totally normal and had no thoughts about it, As far as I remember, there aren't elevators at each subway station or anywhere else. I don't even remember seeing any wheelchair driver in the bus. Although lots of buses I've been in London are having an extra part at the very beginning for disabled people. However, in the city I'm living in, the bridges for pedestrians close to the public transportation stations changed over the years. Back then, as a student, it was only accessible through stairs. So not too long ago, they changed the whole bridge and added elevators. This upgrade has to be made everywhere. As next, even public transportation exists to be helpful for daily life, right? In reality, it definitely isn't. Why? Well, listen. First of all, let's have a look at a bus station. At these stations, as we know, there are different platforms for each bus line. Have you ever really observed the structure of the pavement at such stations? No? So please do so the next time you are there. There are some platforms which are having a curb and accessing it. To access it is pretty much difficult or impossible for a lot of people because it isn't practical at all. How should somebody in a wheelchair reach the bus as fast as possible if it stands there too early or whatever else reasons? It definitely isn't possible. Even if you're in crutches or using a walker and so on. Just look at your own behavior. You're crossing each station, platform on the shortest way to reach your destination without even thinking about the ground because your walking or running is easy peasy. Our fellow human beings in wheelchairs and so on, as I already mentioned in the first part of the episode, and also those, of course, on crutches and who can walk fast or don't have healthy feet and have pain while walking, they need a lot more time to reach the bus because you either have to take a longer way around instead of directly, or you're just not walking in the same speed as the mainstream does. So this means you have to plan a lot more time ahead. If you don't do it, you are in trouble because you might not reach the station in time and have to wait until the next bus arrives. Another stupid situation is that some bus drivers don't see you or don't want to see you because if they would wait, it means they have to help, which creates delays in their schedules. Another situation can also be dangerous because of bus drivers who aren't taking care of you crossing the platforms and only focus on their timetable. Yeah, you're right. Of course, not every bus driver is like this and not every bus is disabled, but there are still many that are. A lot have inside, a lot have in the inside some steps to walk in, just like some trains do. Do you know a great alternative to such a bus? No, they offer a later bus without any barriers. Honestly, this is absolutely no alternative. Imagine you would have to wait for the next bus to arrive just because you couldn't access it. These timetables contain an unfair mixture of buses. City buses are a lot more modern and these don't have extra stairs to walk inside. Even these have disabilities. Somebody in a wheelchair can't board a bus on their own. They depend on mobility aid. Having a closer look, you realize that the usage of this invention isn't independently possible for the ones in a wheelchair. Why? Well, can they swing the mobility aid out themselves? You got it. It's impossible because another person is required to fold the mobility aid out. Unless you're having the arms of Inspector Gadget. Since reality knocks, we know that other people, including the bus driver, have to help to access the bus through mobility aid. What's the job of a wheelchair driver in this situation? Right, it's time to get the attention of the bus driver and also passengers in order to get help. Theoretically, it sounds good, right? Knock, knock. Reality keeps on knocking, since it could be the very opposite, unfortunately. Some bus drivers prefer to ignore it. Others rather close the doors. But why? To save time, to downgrade, or for reasons only they know. All of this is far away from humanity. As a result, you have to wait for the next bus and hope it'll work this time. A never-ending daily circle. The other way around, it could be very similar if you want to get out of the bus. Years ago, as I had no problem using bus, I experienced many times such situations. Wheelchair drivers or mothers with a stroller. Each time the bus driver closed the doors, as he assumed nobody keeps on getting out of the bus just because there was a 1 or 2 second pause. Passengers of the bus screamed to the front, "Open the doors! There's still somebody who wants to get out." Or, "Stop, there's a wheelchair driver outside." Everything that I've mentioned today can be applied to trains as well. Both have similar disabilities. Have you ever realized how tight the hallway of public transportation are? Even in airplanes. This is a major problem because so many fellow human beings are once again being excluded, and it's for so many difficult to even walk through hallways. Just imagine using crutches. You can't walk straightly and without any problems through the hallway to get to your seat or such. You have to walk a bit sideways to use your crutches and not to hurt nobody's toes. I know how that is because some years ago I had to walk with crutches and it was horrible in an airplane. It wasn't only impractical but also exhausting. Some elbows were in my way, then feet or people getting out of their seat to be in my way, and so on. Personally, and of course what I mentioned before, my example, I couldn't walk straight but sideways. That's stupid. So personally, considering everything together, it's tremendously inhuman because only healthy people are being calculated into the design since they match the majority. We know that business people are like a Dagobert duck. It's all about the money, so they squeeze as many people as possible into a room instead of considering people who need more space due to health issues. There's one more disability that public transportations have in common. Can you guess which one? It's the seat itself. Way too tight. Uncomfortable for the length of your legs. Unsafe and so on. For those who have to put their legs up, it simply isn't possible. I don't want to get into further details because I'm quite sure that you can imagine all of this a lot more yourself. I mean, who doesn't know the feeling of sitting too close to the stranger next to you? Think of each location I have been mentioning so far and ask yourself what else they have in common. These are notice kettle posters, display boards, and loudspeaker announcements. Firstly, we will focus on the timeline posters. The font of the main text is usually very small, and the explanations to each icon even smaller. Additionally, the position of these posters are hung up way too high for smaller people. I mean, just remember how it was for you as a kid. Alternatively, there are timetables on display boards. Sounds awesome, right? What's with fellow humans being who can't see or read? Of course, right. There are loudspeaker announcements. What about with others who can't hear? Oh, there's no alternative at all. Wait a minute. Certainly, there are apps, but these apps aren't showing life changes. I mean, so often because of, for example, because of the weather, the train can't arrive on platform X. So they tell you through the loudspeaker announcements that your train arrives now on platform B. And this isn't up to date on the apps. So, incredible, isn't it? So, have I missed something? Or are we really living in the year 2021? Living in such a modern world with all of the technical inventions, you could actually have to think that this disability is already being covered. But no, the main focus is still on profit projects and not on humanity. As an example, sign language could be a part of daily life everywhere. TV shows, movies, theaters, restaurants, workplaces, schools, literally everywhere. I mean, what's actually the problem? Why is this topic totally being ignored? You definitely recognize how important this topic on the episode series is to me. Therefore, I wish that you will talk about it with your family and friends and whoever else you feel for. Talk about it with others and keep in mind that you can always get in touch with me. What have we experienced so far together? We were talking about cities and its infrastructures, including the different types of pavement, foot traffic, public transportation, including airplanes, language, and language is one point I've touched very privately, and I'm going to talk more about this in the next English episode. Also, feel free to like and subscribe and to write a review on the podcast, because I know you're listening and it helps me a lot and others to hear the importance of it. And while I'm off of social media, I'm thinking about how to embody these subtopics through my art. To follow my art journey, feel free to dive into my art on social media at Katejorinna or on my online shop via Etsy. Just check today's show notes for more infos, because there's also my Linktree, the Linktree link where you can see all together where I'm at. So thanks again, and share the message. Feel good, be loved. Until very soon, love, your Kate.